Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Kel. This is Working with Resonance. This is a daily snapshot. It is the 5th of July, 2025, Australian Eastern Standard Time. As I am recording this, actually, I came unprepared. There's a few movements today. Just grab them, sorry. A few movements today. Venus is in Gemini. Moved into Gemini early hours of this morning, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Neptune also this morning has gone retrograde in Aries. Tomorrow, Uranus is moving into Gemini, and the moon moves into Sagittarius with a Uranus-led VOC. What's happening? There is a lot happening over the next few days and few weeks. Few months really, as the outer planets move in and out in their transition. So similar to what happened when Pluto moved out of Capricorn, the outer planets are also on the move, and it is going to be in and out a little bit. So we get a glimpse of what's coming, and then we move back to work through releasing the old frequencies. Hold on to your hat. Yeah, hold on to your hat. Enjoy the ride, okay? If you can, as much as possible, enjoy the ride and stay balanced with the Four of Pentacles. Keep the head and the heart aligned. Don't get caught up on what appears to be in the external according to your storylines and narratives, but rather stay grounded. Stay in the breath, stay in the now, and remain balanced. Oh, okay, we've got one going onto the floor now. I did have, until I moved into this house, an agreement with my guides not to read off the floor. So let me just find the card, which is that Ace of Pentacles. So we will find out why that got adamantly thrown onto the floor. Whoop, there we go. Here we go. The whole deck is imploding. The whole deck is imploding. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, Five of Swords. Be aware of taking action before action is required. Move into the observation space. Just simply observe it in awareness. Taking action before action is required. It really drew my attention to this person in the background here. Somebody in the background of this observation is going through some heartache, going through pain, sadness, and sorrow. They are in the middle of a release. They don't need you attacking them on top of that. Compassion, kindness, unconditional love. Does that mean that you need to put up with bad treatment? No, you just simply say, no, I'm not engaging with that, and walk away. All right. But there's definitely someone presenting here in the background in your observation that is really, really going through it at the moment. Wow. The emotions coming from that person are quite intense. It does feel like it's unlikely to be the viewer of this recording. Just in your awareness. Now, also in saying that, they're responsible for their own emotions. They're responsible for their own actions, their own thoughts, their own beliefs, their own values. You can't fix them. You can't take the burden for them. You can only look after you, okay? You can only work on your stuff. That's all you can do. You can love them unconditionally. You can be kind to them, but you can't do the work for them. And that is definitely a part of the Five of Swords in saying, no, that's your stuff. That's not my stuff. I don't need to engage with that. I don't need to add to that. I don't need to become spiteful or antagonistic or aggressive or cynical or whatever. I can observe it. I can acknowledge you're in pain. That's not my. It's not my problem. It's not. You can only work on your stuff. Okay. The 4 here is about staying in balance, but 4 in general just means no action is required right now. Be still. Go through the motions. Stuff presents the day to day. Just go through the motions, but without getting in the emotions. Okay. Okay. There is change here. There is change presenting here as well, but it's a change in your patterns of thinking, your patterns of behavior, your patterns of using a vibrational transmission through your words. Here we go. And in doing that, here comes the brand new opportunity, the brand new pathway. With the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this was the one that went onto the floor. It's an activation. It's an activation for sure. Now, they've actually drawn my attention to the words, which doesn't normally happen. Money is coming. A divine wish is being granted. Right. I feel like, because this blew out with the stillness card, remaining balanced and aligned, not getting caught up in the external and how things seem to be. It feels like the support from the guides here is to help you stay out of your own way, to allow this divine wish to come to fulfillment. To help you release the residues of what has been. Given that they're really pulling my attention to that 5 of Swords, any residues that you've been carrying around, perhaps in regards to resentment, irritation, frustration, aggression, conditional love, any burden that you have felt like everything's on your shoulders, the load for everything is on your shoulders, and the irritation and resentment that can generate. The support here is to help you focus on the now. Focus on right here, right now, thoughts, words, and actions in alignment, in peace, in love, in kindness for yourself and others. To allow this divine wish to come to fulfillment. Ducks. Something random. A confirmation potentially is ducks. Something to do with ducks. Whether you see a duck, whether you hear a duck, whatever ducks associates with ducks for you. 9 of Wands. Perhaps you really are feeling stagnant, feeling blocked, feeling irritated, although that's actually not how this is presenting. This is looking, you're battered and bruised, but you're looking into the future. Just come back a step and come into the now. Reconnect with your faith, reconnect with trust, reconnect with your guides, reconnect with Source, God, reconnect with your beingness, reconnect with your higher self, reconnect with your soul, your label, however that fits for you, but reconnect with your head and heart alignment. Eight of Pentacles. I'm loving how the Eight of Pentacles has been presenting lately, because it is about enjoying what you're doing. Something that you are doing, I've got the tingles. Whatever it is that you're doing or desire to be doing that brings such a sense of fulfillment and happiness and contentment and love and alignment. This is what you're being guided to. We're being guided to focus on that, to allow ourselves to get lost in that moment of creating, of doing whatever it is that's lighting the fire. Justice in the past. We saw justice earlier in the week quite a few times, I believe. Just is. On the surface level, justice is also talking perhaps about legislative stuff, like legal things, laws, fairness, balance. We're having the attention drawn to the numerology of 11, which is master number. Talking about truth and light, St. Michael, energetically in the frequency is simply about letting things be, without coming through the influence of the acquired beliefs and values, without the application of storylines and narratives, without the control, without the judgment. Okay, it's looking at this person that's in pain in the back here, this one here. It's actually the figure from the Five of Cups. Puts a new spin on the Five of Cups in a way. But it's being able to observe their pain, being able to recognise that their thoughts, words, and actions are coming from their obsession with their pain, sadness, and sorrow. Okay? They're in it, they're feeling it, they're consumed by it. It's all they can think about at this time. So the justice here is essentially saying, being able to observe that without applying the storylines and narratives of, well, they deserve it, they hurt me, they did this, they did that, right? It's about having compassion, being kind, and going, okay, well, they're in pain. I don't need to engage with that in any way, shape, or form, because that's not something I want to attract into my reality, and leave it at that. Okay. But yes, at the surface level, also it is definitely talking about something law related, legal related, fairness issue. But be careful, because fairness is a perception, right? It is to do with an acquired belief and value. And perhaps it is that acquired belief and value that's falling away here with the Tower. Some enlightenment coming through, a change in perspective coming through cosmically, Pluto in activation, Mars in activation, the moon in Scorpio, Uranus on the move, in transformation. We're in the shadow of Mercury, retrograde. Venus is moving like perfect storm. But it's about changing perceptions, changing the storylines, working from the evidence of our own experience. That's tying back to justice as well. The evidence of our own experience, rather than the shoulds and shouldn'ts. And that's, again, they're bringing me back to this whatever's going on with this Five of Swords, that whole spitefulness, to use a much stronger term, they started it. That kind of thing, and that often comes because we've been taught, well, if X does this, then that is how you should feel. The evidence of your own experience here, potentially, you know what it feels like to be in that situation, to be consumed by pain, sadness, and sorrow and loss and feeling like there's nothing else in the world. It's never going to get better. And have compassion for that. And that's how it's presenting with this tower, that it's that change of perception. We were talking about that change in our own thoughts, words, and actions, the way that we behave, the way that we treat others. Because treating others with kindness is also about treating ourselves with kindness. The interconnectedness of all things. And it doesn't take long for things to start flowing with that change, and it's a fairly subtle change in perception. Again, no action required here. Got two fours now saying just be still, just allow it to flow. Trust, have faith. Enjoy the ride. Connect with the guides, connect with spirit, connect with the soul. Take that focus off the external. The external takes care of itself because it's a manifestation of what we think, what we do, and what we say. Suddenly it appears in the external. Yeah. So what's there to worry about? What is there to worry about? If you're the one in control through your thoughts, words, and actions, nothing can go wrong except judgment, except applying a filter instead of hearing the call of your soul, instead of practicing non-judgment, tolerance, acceptance, unconditional love, kindness. Kindness doesn't really cost anything, doesn't. Just watch the mind, watch the words, watch the strategizing, watch the gameplay with the King of Swords coming out as please be aware of. Be more mindful of. Practice sitting in silence and stillness. Practice quieting the mind. Practice sitting in observation. All of these things are King of Swords. Simply observe. Don't take any action. Don't make any decisions. Don't do anything. You're just gathering observations and being in awareness, and then letting your soul do the rest. It becomes a lot easier when you're in the practice of doing that. Yeah, there you go. That's the reading for today. There's quite a bit in that, but overall, the shift in perspective, there's a lot of awareness of kindness and compassion and how we are able to be that. Be kind, be compassion, be love, be you. Lots of love to everyone. Thanks so much for watching. All the information is in the description box below if you'd like a personal reading. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.